For most of our history, the story of this continent before Columbus was a simple one. A vast, untamed wilderness, home to small, scattered bands of nomads. It's a story many of us were taught in school, but that story is profoundly, fundamentally wrong. Across this continent, hiding in plain sight, are the ghosts of a world that shatters that old tale. Here, rising from the Mississippi floodplain, are the earth-worn monuments of Cahokia, a city whose population once rivaled, and perhaps even surpassed, London's. And out in the sun-scorched deserts of New Mexico, the great houses of Chaco Canyon are aligned to the cosmos with a precision that still haunts modern astronomers. For generations, they stood as silent, stubborn enigmas. But now, everything is changing. Groundbreaking discoveries, happening right at this moment, are demolishing our inherited ideas. New technologies are peeling back the layers of Earth and time, revealing a lost history of North America far grander, more complex, and more interconnected than we ever dreamed. And that's where our story truly begins. Today, we look at the evidence that changes everything. To truly feel the shockwaves of these new discoveries, we have to understand the picture they're replacing. The official history painted pre-Columbian North America as an empty land, a world without cities, without politics, without the so-called hallmarks of civilization. Within this fiction, a few sites were simply too big, too magnificent to be ignored. They stood as silent contradictions to the official story. Cahokia, just a stone's throw from modern St. Louis, was an undeniable metropolis. At its core looms the breathtaking form of Monk's Mound, a terraced pyramid of earth, built by hand, basketful by basketful, soaring 100 feet into the air. Its base is larger than that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. To stand on its summit is to imagine a bustling cityscape below, where over 100 other mounds once stood, arranged around vast, engineered plazas. Early explorers were dumbfounded. How could a society without the wheel, without horses or oxen, create something on such a mind-boggling scale? For decades, the answer was a shrug. Cahokia was an anomaly, they said, a strange big bang of a city that rose and fell in total isolation, a lonely giant. Hundreds of miles southwest, in the starkly beautiful desert of New Mexico, lay another enigma, Chaco Canyon. Here, another culture bloomed, leaving behind some of the most spectacular architecture in the ancient world. They are called the Great Houses, towering, multi-story structures that were the largest buildings in North America until the 19th century. Pueblo Bonito, the most famous, is a masterpiece of masonry and cosmic planning, a D-shaped city of over 650 rooms. Like Cahokia, Chaco was seen as an isolated miracle. Its existence in such a harsh, unforgiving desert seemed impossible. How did they feed so many people? What was the real purpose of these colossal buildings? And stretching out into the desert, why were there traces of wide, perfectly straight roads that seemed to lead to nowhere? The prevailing theory was that Chaco was a ceremonial center, a place for pilgrimages, beautiful, but not a true city. And further east, in the Ohio River Valley, the stunning earthworks of the Hopewell tradition presented yet another puzzle. Massive geometric enclosures, perfect circles, squares, and octagons, of a scale and precision that defied belief. The Newark earthworks, for example, form a complex lunar observatory, built to track the 18.6-year cycle of the moon. Yet the Hopewell, too, were seen in isolation, a ritualistic culture that left no cities. This was the old story, a continent of scattered tribes punctuated by a few baffling achievements. Cahokia, Chaco, and the Hopewell Mounds were the exceptions that supposedly proved the rule. The story of North American archaeology today is a story of technological revolution. For generations, our understanding was limited by what a trowel and a brush could slowly reveal. But now, we have new eyes. Satellites and aircraft armed with LiDAR are firing billions of laser pulses at the ground, seeing through dense forests to map the earth beneath with uncanny accuracy, revealing the hidden bones of ancient landscapes. At the same time, new techniques in ancient DNA and isotopic analysis are giving us a breathtakingly intimate look into the lives of the people themselves, where they grew up, what they ate, and who they were. These technologies are not just adding details to the old story, they are forcing a complete rewrite. The discoveries emerging now feel like lost chapters of a grand epic, revealing that Cahokia was a cosmopolitan melting pot, that Chaco's influence was broadcast across the landscape, and that the Hopewell were part of a continent-wide web of ideas. The old view of Cahokia was of a homogeneous, monolithic city-state. But new evidence reveals a far more vibrant and complex reality. Cahokia wasn't just a city, it was America's first melting pot. Recent excavations have unearthed neighborhoods that are completely changing our understanding of the city. Archaeologists have found the distinct outlines of houses and the tools of daily life, but it's the sheer variety that tells the story. This jaw-dropping idea is powerfully supported by bioarchaeology. By analyzing strontium isotopes in human teeth, a geological fingerprint left in your enamel from the water you drank as a child, researchers have made a stunning discovery. As much as 1/3 of the city's population were immigrants. They came from the Tennessee Valley, from the Great Lakes, from all across the vast Mississippi Basin. Cahokia was a magnet, a beacon, drawing people from hundreds of miles away who brought their own skills, languages, and beliefs. It was a diverse, multi-ethnic, multilingual metropolis. This forces us to see the city's layout with new eyes. Take the Rattlesnake Causeway, a massive earthen road nearly a kilometer long. Long a mystery, recent analysis has confirmed its profound importance. Some research suggests the causeway was built as a terrestrial mirror of the Milky Way, the Path of Souls, a celestial highway brought down to Earth for the living and the dead. Long before Cahokia or Chaco, the people of the Hopewell tradition were laying the groundwork for a connected continent. Centered in what is now Ohio, their influence rippled out for thousands of miles. Their mounds contain obsidian from the Rocky Mountains, copper from Lake Superior, and seashells from the Florida coast. This was once seen as a simple trade in luxury goods, but new thinking suggests it was something much deeper. This was a trade in knowledge, a kind of ancient internet of rivers and footpaths, transmitting discoveries and beliefs across the continent. The precision is staggering. The observatory circle at the Newark Earthworks has a diameter of 1,054 feet. And here's the astonishing part. Circles with the exact same diameter have been found at other Hopewell sites hundreds of miles away. It's like finding out that ancient Rome and Han China were both using the meter. It implies a shared, standardized system of measurement used across vast distances 2,000 years ago. Perhaps the most fundamental, earth-shattering shift in our understanding has to do with time itself. Here, fossilized human footprints, preserved in ancient lakebed sediments, have been conclusively dated to as far back as 23,000 years ago. This discovery is like finding out the Egyptian pyramids were built 1,000 years before we thought. It almost doubles the known length of human presence on the continent, placing people here during the frozen depths of the last ice age. When we assemble these incredible new pieces of the puzzle, a cosmopolitan Cahokia, an engineered Chacoan world, a continent-spanning Hopewell network, and a human story stretching deep into the Ice Age, the old picture of ancient North America simply dissolves. In its place, a new, far more wondrous narrative emerges. It's the story of a continent that was never a wilderness, but a homeland, filled with nations, cities, and a complex interwoven tapestry of human relationships. But the most critical part of this new narrative, the part that utterly rejects the idea of lost civilizations, is the understanding of continuity. These people did not vanish, they endured. The genetic link between Chaco and the Picuris Pueblo is a scientific affirmation of what indigenous peoples have been saying for generations. This is not a dead history, it is a living, breathing heritage. The story of ancient North America is no longer a collection of isolated mysteries. It is the story of a dynamic and deeply connected world. A story of cities, of scientific knowledge encoded in the landscape, and of continent-spanning networks of faith. And it is a story that is still being written, As technology advances, and as scientists and indigenous communities work more closely together. Our exploration into this deep history is one of the most exciting frontiers in science. If you want to join us as we continue to investigate the discoveries that are rewriting our past, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. These investigations are made possible by the support of our viewers. If you'd like to help us create more content like this, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. And if the story of Cahokia fascinates you, you'll want to see our next video on the mysterious ritual burials found within its infamous Mound 72. The story we've explored today is more than just an archaeological update. It represents a fundamental shift in our perspective. The silent mounds and ruined great houses scattered across North America are not relics of a vanished people. They are monuments to a rich and complex past, a testament to the ingenuity, the brilliance, and the enduring spirit of this continent's first peoples. For centuries, this history was ignored, misunderstood, or deliberately erased. Now we have the tools and hopefully the wisdom to see it with new eyes. We are learning that ancient North America was not a prelude to history. It was history in all its glory, complexity, and grandeur. The discoveries at Cahokia, Chaco, and the Hopewell sites are not just about finding new artifacts. They are about restoring a narrative and recognizing that the ancestors of today's Native American nations were astronomers, engineers, city planners, and the architects of entire worlds. This is a story that is far from over. There are still countless mounds to survey and generations of traditional knowledge to listen to. What we know for certain is that the old simple story is gone forever. The true history of North America is finally being unearthed, and it is proving to be more magnificent than we ever dared to imagine.